In this video, we're going to see an example of updating a Nubis accounts. Now, I'm in the account deployment repository, and you see we have just a couple of files here. And the one we're going to be interested in is this Terraform variables file. You can see we're currently deployed at version 1.2.2, and we're going to just be going to 1.2.3. This is a patch release for some security stuff we needed to put in, but it really doesn't matter what version you're going to if you're bumping a minor release or a patch, as we're doing in this example here. Once we're done with that, the next thing we're going to do is run a Terraform plan, and I'll break this down for you really quickly. We're using a tool called AWS Vault, which is how we do MFA against the API for AWS. We're telling it to exec. We want to run in the Nubis Training 2016 account, and we're going to be using the admin role. There are two roles. There's a read-only role and then the admin role. And then we're just going to be executing a Terraform plan. Anytime you use AWS Vault, you're basically going to do an exec, and then after the exec, you're going to just put whatever sort of normal command you would run. In this case, as I said, it's a Terraform plan. It takes a minute for this Terraform plan to update here, mostly because in these accounts, Nubis accounts, we have a lot of things deployed. So it's just going to take a minute, and we'll fast forward the video while we see this plan run. Now that the plan is finished, we can kind of look through and see what's changing. A lot of this stuff we'll see. For example, here we have new jump hosts. There's some updates on the jump host for this release. We're going to see like fluent collectors. There's a whole lot of stuff that is changing around. And if you're updating one of your production accounts, I highly encourage you to really dig in and see what's changing to make sure that there's nothing unexpected. After we have run a plan and we've made sure nothing's going to go terribly wrong, or it doesn't look that way anyhow, we'll run a Terraform apply. And once again, it's going to start by refreshing its state, which takes a few minutes, and then we're going to see a whole lot of things updating. All those things we saw in the plan will update. So once again, we will go ahead and fast forward the video because this does take a few minutes, and there's no point in all of us sitting here watching this run. Alright, so the apply was successful there, and the account's now been upgraded, although I realized that I can't actually show you the outputs because they contain a number of secrets for the account. So I've gone ahead and cleared my terminal window, and I want to go ahead and point out a few things. While it's technically possible to change that version number and downgrade an account, it's not something we test very often, so I don't necessarily recommend it. If you run into any problems in this process, you should probably just reach out to us so we can fix them. The other thing that I'll mention is that we recommend that you do upgrades in a sequential manner. So, for example, you saw me bump from 1.2.2 or 1.1.2 to 1.2.3, and that's kind of a normal thing, but I wouldn't go from a 0.2 to say a 0.4 release. If you have missed a release, you really should go from 2 to 3 to 4 in sequential order, mostly because we don't test jumping releases like that. It's not to say it wouldn't work, it's just to say we don't actually test it. The next thing you're going to want to do now that the account is upgraded is to rebuild all of your application images from the new release. Coming along with the new release, you also get a new version of Nubis base, which is the base AMI image that all of your applications are built on. So I've gone ahead and moved over to the repository for my application, and we're just going to edit the project.json file, and in here you'll see we have a source AMI project version, and this is talking again about Nubis base. This is what we're going to build from. So we're just going to bump this patch release again from 1.2 to 1.3, and this will allow us to rebuild our image based on that. And we're just going to do a Nubis builder build, and just like we saw in the sandbox video, you can Nubis builder build. You can then deploy that into your sandbox environment. Additionally, if you just change that project.json file like we saw in the CI video, if you commit that code into GitHub, then it's automatically going to go into your staging environment where you can run your tests and then go ahead and promote it to production. I'm not going to show you all in this video because we've covered it in previous videos, but as I said, you just are going to kick this off like you would any other kind of build.